timing.
4 when you're level 2.
Yeah, exactly, and then you can't play the game. But to mix it in is really, really smart. It's also why I'm a big fan of teams mixing in level 1 cheese, 5-man invades, these types of things, because even if you only do it once in the split, it's in the back of your opponent's head every single game from then on out. And that is something that really does change the way that they have to play the game. People have to play more respectfully.
Yeah.
But into the Bjergsen bans here. A lot of bot laners being banned out. A couple top laners being banned away from Licorice. And we heard Dokla saying he felt like Licorice only really has a couple champions that he's willing to go towards top. The Gnar, the Fiora, 2 of his most played, Sejuani, and then his 1 Kale game. Those are all the champs he's played so far this split, where Bwipo is just, willing to play pretty much whatever. Volibear, you're expecting it to go jungle, but that is a Bwipo special as well, something he used to play a lot in Europe.
Yeah.
But I'm expecting it to be Santorin piloting this, and we're going to get the Lucian
Nami, okay.
And there's no ability to actually fully respond to that bot lane right here. They can do 1 bot lane pick, but then TL can ban away whatever the pairing is that they are most concerned about. So I'm going to be interested to see what the answer is. I will say, though, I feel like Lucian Nami, even though it's thought of as like the most dominant kind of 2v2 bot lane, a lot of times when I'm seeing it lately in Pro, it's not actually winning the 2v2s. It's not actually doing that well. You do have to pilot, I think, very, very well to get the most out of your advantages, to try to really get a lot.
Yep.
And with AblazeOlive, I think that's actually going to be a Taliyah mid. It is not going to be the Taliyah jungle because we already have the Wukong. So I'm expecting this is actually people picking their own champions. It's like solo queue.
Yeah,
like,
just solo queue.
Yeah.
Oh, can anybody trade me Taliyah? Sorry, bro, don't own it.
Nope, don't own it. You're gonna have to pick it third.
All right, I
so
guess.
it's gonna be Taliyah there coming out of mid, very likely, which will lead me to believe that Golden Guardians is gonna have to have bot side as kind of their carry wing condition, because you have a tank Sejuani top, right? You're gonna want to be roaming very likely towards bot side. So be interested to see what they're gonna go for here as far as the carries. TL banning away some of the hyper carries here with the Aphelios. They could take away something like Jinx as well if they wanted. Zeri's already banned out. The only other thing that Stixxay has actually played this split that's not banned is Ezreal. So if they want to just target the things that he's played, they can ban Ezreal here too. But this doesn't really feel like an Ezreal game.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't help your damage profile talking about playing through bot or whatever.
Yeah.
Ezreal's typically not that champion. He's great on the weak side. He's very safe. Azir banned out by the Golden Guardians, so removing 2 possible mid lane options against that Taliyah.
And the Swain ban feels like it's kind of tipping your hand a little bit that you want to play more dive, right? They already have the Wukong as well as the Sejuani. Swain to me is strongest when you are playing anti-dive. So, if you were going to try to play a really aggressive 2v2 bot lane as well to try to go in with some sort of hard engage from the support, then Swain could be a great answer. What is the final ban here? Do they take away Ezreal?
Ezreal.
Yeah. So they are just literally banning everything that he's played this split.
And I do like it because even though Ezreal is not a hyper carry from the bottom lane,
Stixxay is unimpressed with the bans.
He plays so safe that it's hard for Lucian and Nami to get those kills and just dump on him like you were talking about. You want to see this duo do, right?
And you're making Stixxay show us some new stuff.
Yeah.
This is an interesting draft from TL because it's less about banning the meta and more about banning the players, right? They did a double ban on Licorice about some of the champions that he's playing a lot, and they're also triple banning marksmen here. So Stixxay is actually going to bring out the Cog, which almost 100% now we're getting Lulu with it. Like pretty much you always get Lulu. I have seen some Renata. Some people do like that pairing more as well, but you are expecting it to be Lulu. I think that hyper carry profile makes sense. You have your tank top, you have engage from your jungle as well as your top laner. You have a roaming mid laner, so you can look to play towards bot, really try to get this kog'maw ahead. But if things go bad on the bot side for the kog'maw, which they could, to be honest, against Lucian Nami, this game is going to get out of control really, really fast, especially with the ability to cross-map ulti here with the GP. Pretty good matchup into the Sejuani. Just waiting now for Bjergsen's pick.
All right, Bjerg, you're up against Taliyah in the mid lane. How's he going to play against him? He's got a strong bot lane. He's got a strong top that'll also scale pretty well. I mean, this is one of the most standard picks you could possibly go. Kind of works with anything. And it looks like that'll be locked in.
And I will say, you basically, when you're playing against a roaming mid laner, you have 2 options. You pick a roamer yourself, or you pick someone that can push, right? And you either punish the roam by saying, all right, every time you leave, I'm going to have this wave at your tower, you're going to lose plates, or you just can't leave because you're constantly under your turret and you need to get that XP, right? So, that's kind of that first option that Bjergsen is going for. The other option, of course, would be to pick a roaming champion and just match. Lulu, super expected as soon as we saw the Cog. So that should be getting locked in here for Olleh. This is really, I can't remember the last time I saw a draft where everyone just picked their own champion, though. How weird is
it's
that?
pretty rare.
I know this is a very small, unimportant thing.
No, I appreciate it.
That's all I can think about right now.
Lulu Cog, man, this is
This is actually Gigabrain, because now there's not going to be a trade bug, because they don't have to trade.
Yes, the best way to play around the client is to not have to use it.
Exactly.
All right, now we get this hyper carry, though, and the thing is, there's not any long range on TL, really, right? Gangplank doesn't have a gap close. Volibear's gap close is run
And
at
the
you.
engage sucks.
Yeah, they don't have a way to get to some sort of 6-item mega range kog'maw that's just an artillery turret.
Yeah.
If Golden Guardians can get Stixxay there, TL will have a nigh impossible job of dealing with it.
Yeah, it'll be very, very difficult. I mean, what's TL's plan is less to deal with the 6-item kog'maw and more to win the game before kog'maw even gets there.
Win the game when kog'maw's at 2.5 items. You never have to worry about Juggernaut eating your entire team alive. Going back talking to Santorin, his words about Pridestalker. Hey, he's on the perfect type of a champion to outplay, outpath, and get things going for his team so that they are in that spot where they can just choke kog'maw out of the game.
Absolutely, and Pridestalker is not on an early ganking jungler, and he is one of the guys that always does really prioritize farm. You know, even back when he was playing the assassin junglers, he would really be very good at getting the farm, and I will give him some credit for it, because even in games where they were heavily invading him, I remember a Zed game in spring where it was heavily invaded, and he was doing some really intelligent cross-mapping, jungling to actually keep up in farm regardless. So I do think, you know, there's more to it than just like brain off, kill camps. But
that's my favorite way to jungle.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, come on, man.
I have played with you.
Yeah,
but,
hey, we have Krug control.
But here's the thing. You know, sometimes you get 15 minutes of the game, Captain Flowers has like 400 CS on Skarner and 8 items, and you just win.
And then you can make that champion actually look good.
Yeah.
That's my secret strategy. But let's see what the strategy for Golden Guardians is going to look like in this one. Pridestalker will be starting off at his red buff. Santorin's going to be starting off at his blue. So both these junglers will be pathing top to bot here in this one.
Absolutely. Bwipo also going grass, not a shocker, but people are going first strike a lot more on GP these days. I'm seeing that being mixed in, and just kind of, I think, giving some respect over to the fact that Sejuani can put some pressure on in lane, especially when you are playing with Ignite, and when you are paired with a melee jungler. Being able to stack up that passive on the Sejuani does make the 2v2 more threatening. So going for the grasp, we'll see how this little bit of poke trade can go. Hans starting with the W. So it's not the super aggressive start where they go, you know, Nami E and Lucian E and just kind of like auto dash in, try to pocket electrocute immediately. It is just more about the poke and the sustain here. Sustain generally wins against shielding. You know, shielding kind of wins against all in. That's at least kind of like the rock paper scissors.
Bit of a rock paper, yeah, exactly.
It's oversimplified, but like people kind of think about it in that way. So playing, you know, this kind of pokey style.
Ooh, that was
Licorice
clean from Bwipo. As soon as he sidestepped the W2 from Licorice.
Oh my God.
He just instantly made it happen.
He's gotta go back to base, man. That's rough.
Yeah, Licorice not feeling too great here as AblazeOlive tries to flash away in the mid lane, but Santorin's already ready for him. Bjergsen still going in, and it's first blood the Burger King.
This is the perfect game after that interview. What kind of path did he do? He ganked you without red buff. He just 3-camped from topside with no red buff, right? You know, people are not expecting that. If someone starts top on Volibear, they are thinking, if Volibear is going to gank me, it's going to be after red, and it's going to be from the bottom side. And now, let's take a look one step further. Where is the ward covering him? It's here, because of course he's going to gank from red buff. He's going to come this way, but he subverts expectations. He does what is...
In a good way.
Exactly. He does what is, you know, a less effective gank, or a gank that shouldn't work as often, but he pulls it off because AblazeOlive is not expecting him to come from that angle. We'll see if there can be any sort of a punish here, but does not look like it. So, you know, even with that little bit of time, it was a really efficient gank. He didn't get the topside scuttle yet. Bwipo, nice sidestep. Could be in a little bit of trouble.
Bwipo's doing a really good job of sidestepping these W2s from Sejuani. Those are the part that does the biggest chunk of the damage in the trades. And as long as he's got these sidesteps down, he's winning the trades every single time against Licorice.
Absolutely. And we can see this one more time. Just coming from that top side, again, there was a ward on bottom side. You know, this is that key thing. You look at the minimap, he thinks he's covered. On that bottom side, there's a ward there. He's playing, you know, up towards where he has the vision. Wasn't expecting Volibear to come from there. And that is really, really close. Bwipo was doing such a good job of actually getting the passive autos, then resetting the passive with the barrels, getting additional autos.
Yep.
And look at how aggressive Hans is going. He actually goes for lethality first item here. Serrated Dirk right away. So they are trying to pound this lane. He's likely just going to sit on this rated Dirk, go towards his Mythic now, and then have that as a collector second. That is my expectation. I don't think he's going to go for a lethality Mythic.
Okay.
But we can see.
Oh, Bwipo saving the W, wants to be able to break the stun with it. Santorin's coming up, but remember there is no flash on the Volibear. Team Liquid wanting to turn this one around, but Pridestalker's got the first kill of the fight. Santorin looking for a little bit more, but he gets CC'd. He has 5 seconds left in the queue. 4, 3, 2, 1. It's not ready in time. Can he deliver the E? No, he cannot, and the Golden Guardians outplay.
Man, that is so frustrating for Santorin and TL. At the very least, though, the wave is really good for GP. If Santorin actually holds that wave, that's going to be a full freeze with no TP on Licorice. So, ironically, Licorice actually gets behind off of this. This is one of those things where it feels really bad, and it shows how important the wave state is, because the wave is actually screwed. He didn't get the kill, so yes, Pridestalker gets a kill. That is good for their team, as Stixxay could be in some trouble here.
Stixxay getting jumped on by a very aggressive Hans Sama, who's now got to be careful as he steps back through the kog'maw puke. Olleh trying to provide the last little bit of DPS. They need to kill out Hans. Hans is slowed. Hans still has flash, though. Team Liquid getting themselves away, but that trade favors the Guardians.
Absolutely, especially because Stixxay went for a Vamp Scepter, right? So you want to take these long, sustained trades. TL, with this rated Dirk, they were trying to look for 100 or 0. They were just trying to all in there straight up.
Yep.
But, you know, on top side, it was actually, after that play, Licorice up like, I don't know, was 1 or 2 CS or something. We're going to see Bwipo actually extend an advantage here in the farm because of the way that this worked out. So after he picks up all of this, he's going to be up a good like 2 waves, right, in farm. Plus, all of that experience gets missed there as well.
Oh! They're going to move on Bjergsen here. Pridestalker coming in, trying to help out AblazeOlive as Santorin walks through a ward and shows up. He's after the Golden Guardians mid laner. He stuns them up, and the lightning crashes down.
No flash on AblazeOlive, so Santorin comes in. They don't even get a summoner off of Bjergsen. Really good read on how much damage would be coming through there. It's comfortable to survive it without even popping a summoner. And Santorin, you know, right place, right time, does seem to have a pretty good read on where Pridestalker is going to be. So with these extra couple minions going down, the waves are now at parity. There's 6 minions on either side, and he's up 11 CS. So just about 2 waves, right?
Yeah.
And he went from up 1 or 2 CS to down 2 waves, right? And that is kind of the struggle of top lane sometimes, is that even if the gank works out, if you don't get the kill and the wave is bad, you can really get punished here. So I expect Licorice to fall way behind off of this, and it's going to mean more pressure on Pridestalker to get things done.
Well, Santorin's here, and he's got his ulti ready to go. Stixxay and Olleh both with flashes still ready. Stixxay with a flash out, but the chain CC means Olleh's got no way home. Santorin picking up the kill and maintaining that full KP.
Yeah, Santorin has been so active, man. Like, he has been everywhere this game. You know, already 3 KP very early on here, 7 minutes, and he narrowly missed out on 2 kills on top side. And he has been right place, right time every single time. You know, making those aggressive plays, making things happen here. And I really like how he played that out. You ult towards the cog, you force the flash, then you turn around with your Q onto Olleh. At the very least, you get both flashes by doing it in that way. Right. And this way, he actually got a flash and a kill. You can look for a repeat gank because his flash is now back up, and Stixxay won't have his for 5 minutes.
And honestly, I think even if Olleh flashes there, he still flashes within enhanced auto attack range from the Volibear Q. So I think he dies anyway. There was just no way home. Really well played from Santorin, and that means Team Liquid's at a 1,000 gold advantage as the Golden Guardians looking to move bodies up through the river, but Santorin's looking to move them into the ground. There's the flash from Olleh.
Yeah, well, gonna get it out now. Bjergsen here.
Oh,
a little bit awkward.
Pridestalker's going in. Santorin has no ulti to be able to get out of this one, but a nice shockwave means the Golden Guardians are just getting eviscerated. AblazeOlive is stuck in the pit. The only question is who's getting the money, and the bear is right there.
Oh my God, TL just erased Golden Guardians, knocking them down off the map. The shockwave sets it up, the barrel knocks it home.
If you ever wanted to see a game of League of Legends end where the Nexus doesn't blow up, just watch that clip again. They just completely buried the Golden Guardians there. Man. They win the Rift Herald afterwards. Just massive from TL.
If this is solo queue, there's only one thing being set off that on the Golden Guardian side. It's open. Anyone down? Open?
That or real noob GG. the teams would, and solo queue teams would not be happy at each other for that one. Let's see how it goes again.
Yeah.
As the Golden Guardians, they lose the flash on the support to start it out.
I mean, they had the extra members here early. It's a 4v2 right now, right? But they waited a long time here. Then they go in on Santorin. The GP ulti is really well placed. They all group up here. Shockwave connects on 3. Then look at this GP barrel from the top side. Bwipo auto. The perfect timing there. Nails it onto Pridestalker. Has it on AblazeOlive as well. He is down really low. Flashes the bubble, but now there's no way out of the pit. They all go down, and you lose the Herald. This is a monumental lead this early on. Santorin already has his mythic. My man
God.
with Swifty Boots.
Swifty Boots, the Chem Tank. I really didn't like the flash there from AblazeOlive. That felt kind of like an in-the-moment instinct panic
You
flash.
just see the CC coming out, you press
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to get away, but then he finds himself in the pit. Just, you can't get out of the pit after that point. So they get the bonus summoner spell for free. AblazeOlive 0-3-0 here on the Taliyah. Santorin been doing a great job. Still 100% kill participation on this Volibear. We have had a tale of two trash talks today. Soul spoke his and immediately got smacked in the mouth. Santorin spoke his and was like, all right, I'm waiting. He is just running the show here. The man is in control. Pridestalker walking into the jungle, but uh-oh, here comes Santorin. Tries to go for the dunk, forces the flash out. Mission accomplished.
Starting to feel a bit mean at this point from Santorin, you know? You trash talk him, you're dunking on him in game. It's jungle diff. He's typing in chat.
Hey, that is the essence, the ode to League of Legends, my friend. As Golden Guardians have moved their bottom lane up to the top side to respond to Team Liquid doing the same. There are still 5 plates on both turrets there in the bottom lane, so it's not like anybody lost a turret. TL is just making sure that they're ready to try to pressure different points of the map. Hans Sama nearly getting a plate here, throws out the calling.
AblazeOlive, gonna look.
Losing a lot of health there, but he'll be all right.
Yeah, AblazeOlive moved up towards that red buff, you know, was actually cheating up. You can see him heading back towards down his jungle, but again, this ward right there, that one actually did spot him. So was spotted on the move up. So even though they didn't have vision on the red buff where he was hanging out, TL were aware that he could be heading up there. And the difference in mid here is getting pretty big. I mean, that's a 2-level advantage right now for Bjergsen. I'm assuming that Taliyah is well on the way.
The first ever caster fine. We don't actually get fined when we say bad words, by the way. That's a myth. Anyway, we've got a 4,500 gold lead for Team Liquid, 7-1, 11.5 minutes into the game, and the Golden Guardians have got to stabilize somehow.
We'll see if they're going to be able to do it. Going to be looking to slow this down as much as possible. If they base here, though, top tower is probably just gone because you have Herald right here. So I think they walk up. I think full tower is about to die. And that means it's going to be even more of an injection of gold here. They're already up 5K pre-12 minutes. That is rough stuff. Stixxay going to get back up here to defend the tier 2, but first tower going down.
Nicely done.
It was already about 800 gold between those two marksmen. Now it's about 1,400. So that is a really big lead. And with all that gold in pocket here, he's got 2K in pocket, so he probably actually does have Mythic now, right when he goes back. So yeah,
it's still connected.
That sucks.
He hit the eyeball when Shelly was in the charge animation, but she still managed to slam her body into the thing.
That's commitment.
Yeah, Shelly, till death do us part, Team Liquid.
Yeah. Big TL fan right there. Hans and CoreJJ both finishing their mythics. So we have the Gale Force, we have the Imperial Mandate. So it's 5 mythics to 0. And I'll let you do the math on if that's good or not.
Even Skarner players can do that one. We call that one a dub here for the side of TL. Olleh getting caught out by Bjergsen, who can sidestep away from the Glitter Lance. Olleh at 300 HP. Bjergsen still seeing if maybe there's a play to be found here.
Here comes the Swifty Bear.
Olleh walking back into the jungle. Okay, Santorin's not going to see him. He's just going to take away the red buff instead. Olleh sees that it's not there, but it's Pridestalker walking up, ready to challenge for this. Santorin's got Core right behind him. He's got the smite. He'll take the red. Stixxay's now got to be careful. There goes Volley. There goes Stixxay. Oh, they're just running right past him. They don't even care. Santorin looks for more. There's not any more to be found. But Team Liquid just don't stop.
The disrespect. Santorin cares so little about Stixxay's damage. Just walks past him. Looking for the next target there.
Meanwhile, here in bottom lane, the 1v1 between Bwipo and Licorice continues to favor Bwipo as he sidesteps the W's with ease, maintains control over the wave. Golden Guardians are drowning right now.
Yeah, that's side-to-side jukes. So many people, really kind of default to juking backwards, but the side-to-side is so important in a lot of top lane matchups, actually.
Yeah.
Sejuani's an obvious one. Gwen is another really obvious one. The side-to-side is much more
With the
efficient.
needles.
Exactly, the needles, but also the Q, the true damage on the final
yeah,
Q.
the middle.
Exactly, you want to get out of the middle for that. Champions like Mordekaiser, which isn't as popular since the nerfs, but Mordekaiser, dodging side-to-side is much more effective to dodge the Q, the E, so it is a skill that you really have to practice in a lot of those matchups, and Bwipo looking really comfortable. And I've got to say, it's actually so frustrating when you just can't hit any of those spells, when someone is really good at the side-to-side dodging. It gets in your head, man. They got you downloaded.
Well, the Golden Guardians are going to have to find something here eventually because Team Liquid just completely running over the game, and they are not slowing down. The next Drake will go over to them. Golden Guardians acquired that first one, like you said, during the break. Bwipo just walking away from Pridestalker here. I don't think he's too worried. Takes a chunk out of him there with a barrel. Bwipo still just trying to stay alive and fight this. Bjergsen helping him out over the wall here. As the Golden Guardians can't find any sort of a play, CoreJJ working his way up towards the top side as well as Bjergsen takes the blue buff. 1-1 here on Drake's as Santorin took that one. And now with TL bringing more bodies up into the top side river, it's time for Golden Guardians to head home.
Yeah, good little attempt from Pridestalker, but at the end of the day, it is his ult and flash down. They're going to look for a dive. Nice stasis there.
AblazeOlive still staying alive for now. Sama tanking the turret, so he's got to get back. AblazeOlive, nice job staying alive.
Ulti.
Nice stun onto Santorin. Nice shutdown to the Golden Guardians mid lane.
That is really big. That was actually so well played with the stopwatch there from AblazeOlive. Needed to get that out before the volley stunned him, was able to do so. And as a result, the slowdown, the damage landing there, then Licorice coming in, there was no ulti available for the Volibear. It came up after he died, so he couldn't actually ulti to immune the Sejuani ultimate and didn't have his flash. So that goes down. That means they get the kill, they get the shutdown, and they are going to get the Herald. So we'll see if they can grab a tower off of this. It is a big injection of gold over there for AblazeOlive, so he'll have his mythic money, but still, I mean, it's slim pickings on what's going well for them because they're down 7K.
Well, at least in being able to grab that Herald, even if you get no value out of using the Herald yourself, you can't summon it in range to get a charge or anything, you stop TL from getting it.
Exactly.
Which is...
You're spiting them.
Yeah, well, I was at least going for the it stops the gold bleed from getting more egregious.
You're making sure
they
don't have fun, which is the most important part of League of Legends.
We're all going down together.
It's not actually about having fun yourself.
Man,
it's about making sure your opponents really have even less fun.
It's gonna make you guys miserable. Well, I think TL's still having a pretty good time. 8,000 gold lead at 16 minutes. That's normally the kind of League of Legends that I like to play. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Golden Guardians, let's see if you can do it again, or 7, 8 more times. Try to bring this one back. Team Liquid.
At a certain gold deficit, Shelly should really just start fighting for your team. Forget the charge.
Yes, turn her into a pet.
You can just like
summon her, and then you can move her around. She has abilities.
Yeah.
You can charge her into stuff.
You should be able to buy items for Shelly if you're 10K down.
But if you're 10K down, you don't have any money for anything. How are you going to pay for Shelly?
Items on Shelly, Just all eggs in their basket.
Yeah, here's Shelly. Here's a brown boot and a long sword. Good luck.
Get out there,
I don't
partner.
think that's going to do it. Sama getting back over the Taliyah wall. AblazeOlive tried to make an entrance and stop Team Liquid, but they couldn't quite get it. TL backing away now. The Gangplank ulti used just to make sure the Golden Guardians didn't look for anything else there.
Yep. Going to be able to just walk out of that one. Good little bit of chunk. I mean, that's one of the most effective things I think about the Lucian culling. When you're playing with Nami, the Electro proc, the E procs, you can kind of go for this long range, like, I almost feel bad calling it poke because you can 100-0 someone, right? So it is pretty threatening, but Bwipo in some trouble here on the top side.
AblazeOlive and Pridestalker going after the TL top laner. He's still burning. Thor heals him at the last second and keeps him alive. Nicely done there as Santorin and Sama take down Pridestalker. Bwipo is still running. He eats the oranges. He survives the Cog ulti.
Wait,
another shot hits him.
One more?
No, not gonna happen. And Bjergsen looks for more. AblazeOlive wants to run, but the lightning finds the slow, and Bjergsen finds the kill.
Man, that's such a tilter. That is a gold diff right there. Live at 20 HP. Now Stixxay. Time to flash, bud.
Okay, the butterfly lives another day. Good. That's my favorite kog'maw skin.
Is it?
Yeah, because he tries to fly.
What about the dog one? Everyone seems to love that, but I actually hate that skin.
No, he doesn't try to fly, dude. Watch kog'maw try to fly and just jump his little butt up in the air. Oh, well, Licorice is in the arms of the angels, buddy. Good night. Fly away from here.
kind of just an allegory for the game. You know, Golden Guardian's trying to fly,
deep here
but
now,
not,
yeah.
not quite able to.
Isaac's writing a book report on this one. In this essay, I will explain how kog'maw is symbolic for the Golden Guardian.
Did you have Cole's notes when you were a kid? You know, like just like the summary where you could like buy a book and it just told you the book in like 10 pages.
Oh, we had Spark Notes online.
Same thing then.
Yeah, that's what I did for every book report. I was like, this is 300 pages. I'm not reading it. I'll read the summary though.
I will read the Spark Notes 2 hours before my assignment is due, though.
Right, it works. Okay, would you rather get like a 95 reading 300 pages, or would you rather get a 90 reading 1 page?
This is some terrible life advice.
That's a better deal.
True.
I am not a licensed tutor, teacher, or anything related to it. If your parents catch you listening to this, this is not real academic advice. You probably shouldn't listen to me. Anyway, the Golden Guardians have summoned a Herald. They're looking to take down this Tier 1 turret. Objective bounties are up. Give them a little bit of money. Give them something. They're down 11,000, damn it.
That's a dub.
It's going to be traded, though. It's going to be traded back for the Tier 2 in mid, so we're still not back to 4 digits in the gold lead.
We are not, but we'll see if they can find any sort of pick. They're looking now for Bjergsen.
Okay, Bjergsen getting caught out by Pridestalker. Okay, not enough. Not enough. AblazeOlive also running away. Man. Oh, no, Pridestalker. Okay, jumps back in. It's not enough. It's not enough.
It was a good try.
Yep.
Golden Guardians staying pretty proactive, you know, are looking for plays, but they're just so far down. It's hard to make any of these plays work. And TL now gonna take Baron on spawn here, 20 minutes in. The kog'maw will take a dragon.
Okay.
So that's something.
Yeah, they got that. So they'll be able to secure that, but in the face of a Baron take from TL, honestly, what I want to see here, if we're looking for, you know, how can TL impress with this game, I want to see the game end on this Baron push. It needs to end on this push. You are 12,000 gold up at 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Your opponents have a kog'maw that is on 1.5 items. You should be able to just send this straight down mid with a gut punch.
I mean, I agree with Volibear as well. You know, definitely the ability to turn off those towers and look for the dive. That being said, you know, maybe the only way that Golden Guardians could come back is a failed dive, so diving into Cog plus Lulu could be a little risky. But I think with no flash on Stixxay, they can definitely do it, push it up, look to try to make these plays happen. If they get the kills, they could try to close this one out.
Pridestalker gets himself over the wall. Nicely done. That change to Wukong, pretty big deal for both his survivability and playmaking possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what pushed him back into jungle, right? We had not been seeing Wukong for so long. Last time I remember Wukong jungle was back when like Brutalizer was still an item, right? When people would go for that. So it's been kind of cool to see Wukong back in the meta a little bit. I think it's a pretty fun champion, but TL now pushing into waves here. There's no TP flanking wards. They're gonna look for a pick.
Okay, they're going in. Santorin and Bjergsen getting jumped on 5v2. Bjergsen's now the target, but he flashes away. Nice sidestep with the seismic shove and the shockwave to turn it around. Bjergsen has already found one as Pridestalker and Licorice still look to finish him off. Flash away from the Monkey King. The shutdown goes over to Licorice, but at the cost of 3 Golden Guardians players. Bwipo looking to chase after Stixxay and Olleh. Another barrel's been put down. They'll interrupt it, but it will not matter. 4 for 1 for TL.
I think you're gonna get your wish here. TL pushing into the base, pushing through mid, pushing through top. At the very least, they're gonna get double inhibitor here.
Yep.
The respawns are so short this early in the game that AblazeOlive will be up, but I think they can continue looking to close this one.
Don't worry, guys.
Glass Apple, don't worry, we're losing so bad that the respawns are really short.
We're right back up in 20 seconds. They can't end. Unfortunately, that is the reality for the Golden Guardians.
Nexus is insane.
That's the bright point of the game for them now, down 14,000, 16-3. TL has just been running this from start to finish.
Yeah, absolutely. They do get a big shutdown there on Bjergsen. I think it was a 1K, but even with that, 13.5K ahead.
Yeah.
It's, you know, not enough. We'll say that much.
TL almost has as many thousands in gold lead as they have kills in the game.
That's true. They are very, very far ahead. Like the attempt, though, again, Golden Guardians staying pretty proactive here. But Santorin's just so tanky, and Bjergsen really nice moves here, sidestepping the seismic shove there, shockwaving them back away from himself as everyone comes in from the rest of the team here. They do get back in onto Bjergsen here and are able to just barely finish him off. As the E-proc there, the Q auto comes through, they get the shutdown onto him, but Stixxay and Olleh, no way out. They do get the flank and they get a kill here.
Oh, Santorin.
Ooh,
all right, that
okay.
was a little bit of an in. That was not what he was hoping for. Golden Guardians has the damage to get that pick, so at least they got that. But the problem is, okay, so 12.7 thousand gold lead. Observers, could we switch to the gold view real quick? Okay, Santorin's got 8.7 thousand, so with the bear off of the map, TL still has a 4,000 gold lead.
Yeah, that's right.
And we know how much they love that number.
Yeah.
So they're still in a spot where they can just win.
That's an old meme.
Hey, it checks out.
It does check out. Yeah, it does check out. Back in the curse days, forever fourth. And then they won 4 championships in a row.
Right. It all
How many splits has it been since they won a championship? Is it 4?
It's been a while. I think. Wait, when was the last one? It's been a long time. I don't know. I'm not really good at the math. Anyway, we've got Golden Guardians still trying to hold on, still just clinging to life.
Hey, kog'maw has as many items as Hansama completed.
You know what? I feel like you're being cheeky right now. You're the best part was back in the green room, I told Isaac that we needed sassy Azael on the cast today, and now here I am receiving sassy Azael.
Ask and you shall receive.
As Team Liquid is just... All right, TL, walk it in, boys. Walk it in. Let's wrap this one up. Golden Guardians still trying to defend. Pridestalker leaves the clone behind. The actual Wukong surviving with plenty of HP there. As AblazeOlive's ulti is ready to go, but Team Liquid aren't too concerned about it. They're just going to continue putting damage into the Nexus turrets. That first one's about to fall. Golden Guardians not going to commit for that. Bwipo's still down here in the bottom lane. Licorice was holding him off, but now Licorice rejoining the rest of the Golden Guardians. They're going to have to make their move soon. They're about to lose the second Nexus turret here. Bjergsen stepping back, getting away from the kog'maw slope. Bwipo still putting the work into the tier 3 turret here in the bottom lane. Santorin surviving, using the cleanse. They're going right back in. It was the Mikhail's Crucible, I believe, from CoreJJ that was able to get rid of that CC. Bwipo ulti comes down right on top of those Nexus turrets, for that one Nexus turret remaining, I should say. TL playing this one slowly and methodically, taking down all inhibitors. Golden Guardians falling back to the fountain now. You can see a recall coming out from Bwipo. He does have his teleport to rejoin the fight. Nexus turrets are already gone. Golden Guardians,
they gotta look,
staring down the barrel of a direct 5v5 with no turrets to fight under. This is their last stand. Hansama goes in, baits him with a nice stopwatch. Stixxay trying to stay alive. Santorin here on the front line. Bwipo tries to get away, but he's gonna burn down, but it's a 1-for-1 trade so far. Golden Guardians are still alive, but the Nexus is under pressure.
Oh, it's gonna go down too!
Shut down. AblazeOlive grabbing that one. Bjergsen has no mana. Santorin tries to flee as a nice big job finds CoreJJ. Team Liquid are about to lose more. Olleh gets the Sapporo combat as Licorice runs down the enemy mid laner and TL lose 4. That's not how they like that number.
All right, Golden Guardians hanging on. Lulu coming in clutch there. They're not able to find the engage. Bjergsen out of mana. Not able to make it happen is a pretty good initial play, but they did get the stopwatch. They did get the flash off Stixxay. That's really the only reason he was able to survive. Yep. Put out a ton of damage. He just bought double zeal. That is not going to be intentional. Wait, he sold it? Did he not have money then to actually complete? I guess he must be just short. All right, let's watch this one more time. They look for the initial play here onto Stixxay. They decide to make the call. Hansama dashes in. It's double stopwatch from both the marksmen. Then the follow-up play tries to come through here. Stixxay flashes back out of range. They wall off Bwipo. Bwipo gets knocked down. Santorin's getting shredded there by Stixxay. Can't quite finish him off, but able to step forward here. And Bjergsen now out of mana, just trying to stay around, finish the Nexus. It seemed like split calls from TL because they were not able to finish it, but TL gonna grab another Baron.
I mean, Bjergsen had about 10% mana and no ulti to start that off with, so I feel like TL was just thinking, yeah, let's go in. We're so far ahead, just brute force it. It doesn't matter. Unfortunately, they weren't far enough ahead to make up for that, so the Golden Guardians held on, but it is now another Baron in the pocket of TL. It is now another situation where the Golden Guardians don't have any turrets to hide behind. They have nothing left to defend with. TL is marching towards the base. They've got resources this time. They've got Baron. They've got mana on Bjergsen. Golden Guardians has to pull off a miracle.
Yeah, Stixxay does have his third item, so that's something. But no flash makes it so hard for him to play. I mean, if you just only try to shockwave him, it's gonna be very difficult, but they're going in!
Golden Guardians, Pridestalker's able to find the knock-up on 3. Stixxay under pressure, but still looking to kite and fight. Santorin survives with a stopwatch. Pridestalker getting himself away. Santorin's about to die. Might just survive, and AblazeOlive getting the kill back on the Bwipo. Licorice turning around. Santorin's taken out. Team Liquid didn't do it! Golden Guardians holds the line.
Oh my god! If they could get down there and actually take the dragon as well, they would be on sole point here. You're starting to sweat a little bit if you're a TL fan. Boris, you were saying they need to close it out at 20 minutes to really check those boxes. We're closing in on 30 now. And that was the flash from Santorin, but there was no follow-up. It looked like Santorin almost soloed out Stixxay. I want to watch Bjergsen. What was happening to Bjergsen at this time? So Santorin flashes forward. Bjergsen is just not really there to be able to follow it up. He is in the Zonias. Look at this damage on a Stixxay. Even if the GP ulti was placed better, I think Stixxay just dies. Santorin basically just soloed him, and yeah, the game is over, but they don't have the coordination to finish him off. A great job by Santorin juking out on a lot of those plays, but Sejuani was out there ahead of them. They did get Dragon, so they got a bounty. They're on Soul Point, and oh my god, man.
AblazeOlive's damage, nearly 5,000 in that fight. This is a guy who started the game off 0-3 and 0. Santorin had him locked in, just killing him over and over and over again.
This is getting scary.
He's kept his school and he's scaled up. The inhibitors, 2 of them are alive for the Golden Guardians, the last one respawning in 1 minute.
And AblazeOlive almost has a death cap, right? And I think, you know, if Stixxay gets to a 4th item here, like, the dive is bad from TL. They do not have a strong dive comp. We talked about this earlier. Their plan was to blow Golden Guardians out of the game, right? Yep. And now it's a level 16 kog'maw here, level 17 on AblazeOlive. You know, if they can get to death cap, if they can get to a 4th item here for Stixxay, it is really tough, legitimately really tough to actually fight through the Taliyah and get to that kog'maw. He's gonna have flash again here soon. We'll see if TL wants to try to go before he gets it. If you can shockwave him, you could end the game, but it's risky. They're going.
Okay, they throw out the Taliyah wall. They don't get a whole lot. I think Golden Guardian still has one more really tough fight ahead of them. If they can weather this storm one more time, I might start to be a little bit more of a believer.
Aaron's
I still think
it's
incredibly favorable for TL. Mid lane inhibitor is the target. That one's going to go down. TL claim it. They back away. Stixxay just clearing out these waves as much as he can. Licorice moving top, looking for Bwipo. Remember, the Nexus is still open. Pridestalker dropping the clone to try to block some of the calling. Licorice now using the stasis, keeping himself alive. Golden Guardians know they got to be able to fight here. Licorice about to die. Stixxay trying to kite around. Licorice is down.
Oh my god!
Nearly grabbing one, but it ain't going to happen. They take out the enemy AD carry. 4 versus 3. Stixxay's done. Team Liquid took out the cog, but now AblazeOlive is the cannon the Golden Guardians have to rely on. Pridestalker jumps in. Pridestalker jumps out. Santorin still looking for any sort of an angle. AblazeOlive still defending. Bjergsen, no ulti, still about 75% of the way through that cooldown. Pridestalker running away. Bwipo with a flash auto. Nexus is low. It was a valiant effort, but it will not matter, and Team Liquid takes the win.
What a close game, man, at the end. It was actually starting to get a little bit dicey there for TL. They were dominating for the first 20, 25 minutes. Those last couple Nexus pushes made you start to believe a little bit there for Golden Guardians. Of course, they were still so far on the back foot. And at the end of the day, it is still a 10,000 gold win here for TL in 31 minutes. So pretty dominant, but not the way they would have wanted to close it out. And Stixxay did get his flashback at the very end, I think right after he died. So, like, if they hang on for that fight, the Baron buff had expired. They were actually the ones on Soul Point. Death Cap was coming through. There was opportunities here for Golden Guardians.
I mean, we got to see what Golden Guardians draft wanted to accomplish there at the end. We got to see what that could have looked like. But Team Liquid did their job right. We were talking about Golden Guardians wanting to scale. Team Liquid just needs to blast them early game, and they did. Santorin
was amazing.
So much kill participation, so much playmaking. This was the guy who made it so TL wins. Because if he doesn't do all that early, if they don't have a 10,000 gold lead by the time that kog'maw starts to come online, all of a sudden that's a different game.
Absolutely. I mean, that game, the early game was catastrophic for Golden Guardians.
Oh, yeah.
Volibear was everywhere, killing every lane, you know, always in the right place at the right time. You know, in the later stages of the game, I think it was like more about Bjergsen, how he was playing, more about, you know, the carries, of course. That's kind of just how the jungle goes, especially when you're playing a tank jungler. But early game, Santorin was incredible. To me, he's the player of the game because he put them in the position to actually win in the later stages. But definitely credit to Golden Guardians. I thought that game was going to be them rolling over and getting just absolutely stomped after what was a monumental gold lead. It was what, like 14, 15,000?
Yeah, I think
like
around
20 minutes.
It was ridiculous.
It was absurd, and they actually were able to hold on and have some pretty impressive Nexus defenses. And I do think if they could have held on for another minute or two, you never know what could happen.
That's what I was looking at. That fight right there, I looked at as probably the last fight where I would say, yeah, I'm still firmly giving this one to Team Liquid. Like, Golden Guardians has to pull off something crazy. But if Golden Guardian survives that, like you said, especially with the timing of the Stixxay flash, the fact that they were still scaling up, looking towards that fourth item on AblazeOlive, things get a lot scarier. But Team Liquid finally found their angle. The barrel found Stixxay. He gets exploded. It didn't work out for him. Licorice died at the start of the fight, so they lost their tank line. It just wasn't enough. They were too far behind. Good job to TL, but Golden Guardians at least showing us what they were drafting for. The plan was cohesive. It's just staring down the barrel of a Santorin Volibear is a scary place to be. And now, we're joining Licorice and the bear himself for our Verizon post-game interview.